My BF, 35M, was the desperate, creepy guy in every woman's DMs. How'd I, 30F, move past this? We've been together for 6 months. A girl I work with showed me messages from him on Instagram, basically messages along the lines of, "You're so sexy, you're perfect. When are you going to let me take you on a date? ECT." He also did the same thing to her friend and someone else. Basically he just went after anyone and everyone. And the women wouldn't reply, but he kept trying. We were not dating when he did this. It was the months leading up to us dating, and he had stopped when we got together. At least with the women I know of. But the issues I am having is that it disgusts me how desperate he was in the messages. And it disgusts me that he would tell all of these women how amazing they are, and I have to basically beg for a single compliment. He also never asks me on dates, but in the messages to other women, he would be asking them multiple times on dates. He had put so much effort and gave so much attention to all of these women. But as a boyfriend, he puts in zero effort. I don't understand that, and I don't know how to process what exactly it is that I'm feeling. Even though he did it before we got together, and the past is the past, I can't help but to look at him differently and feel some sort of resentment for not ever giving me the same level of attention. I don't know if I need advice or just to vent, but advice is welcome. Thank you for listening. He's pretending to be someone he's not, so women like him. You got the real thing, you don't have to stick around. It's completely reasonable that this has given you the ick. It would give most people the ick. He had put so much effort and gave so much attention to all of these women. But as a boyfriend, he puts in zero effort. Isn't that all you need to know, really? To be brutally honest, I'd be embarrassed. He puts no effort into you and is known as a creep, undesirable, to other women? No thanks. But as a boyfriend, he puts in zero effort. You're lying to yourself by staying with him. And typically the kind of guy desperate enough to slide into everyone's DMs isn't going to stop just because he found someone. Odds are he would put in no effort with those other people as well if he had been in a relationship with them. He seems immature for a serious relationship. It's up to you what you want to do with that. Talk to him and see if anything can be done. Let it go, or let him go. I would say don't cling to a relationship that has lasted 6 months that is already not fulfilling your needs. Edited spelling error. It's a pretty classic case of enjoying the chase and not knowing what to do, or not caring, when he succeeds. You can have a conversation about this, but it's really two separate issues. Why he's not putting in effort in your relationship and why he feels comfortable with that aggressive style of pursuit of essentially strangers on the internet. My 22 male girlfriend, 21 female, really went off the deep end at a party. How to proceed? Recently my 22 MGF, 21 F hosted a late Halloween party at her place. I'm going to try and keep the post short, but man is there a lot to it. I arrived for the party around 6 p.m. Her roommates and roommate's boyfriend are there, all already tipsy. By 9 p.m. the party is in full swing with around 12 people. It's all good so far. I step outside to smoke a joint and my girlfriend and her roommate walk out. My girlfriend wants to talk to me. She is very drunk at this point and tells me her cousin, Adam, is coming to the party and he is also bringing Josh. Important, I caught my girlfriend texting Josh inappropriate texts about 3 months ago. She claimed it harmless flirting between friends. She could have him if she wanted, but never has nor will. She offered to not speak to him, and that's how it's been since then to my knowledge. So girlfriend tells me to not make a big scene. She doesn't want to ruin the party. Josh is just coming to hang out with the entire friend group and then head out. The next 3 hours the entire group gets progressively more drunk, puking and rallying. I believe they call it when they throw up and take more shots. I had 2 shots the entire evening. From 9 p.m. 1 a.m. my girlfriend was glued to Josh's hip. Made sure he had a drink, sat with him in the couch, laid her head in his shoulder, grabbed his thigh close to the crotch while laughing from a joke. She would twerk a lot with her friends in front of the group, and OFC being my girl, I'm watching her, and each and every time she would finish dancing she would get up and look directly at Josh. My guess is to see if he was looking. This happened at least 5 times. I asked my girlfriend for a kiss quietly at some point as I was really upset about the display, and I guess I wanted Josh to see her kissing me or something. Anyways, she leaned in, then pushed me away and left the room. At this point I take her outside and tell her that she's making me upset being all over this guy in my face. She replies, "This is a lot," and walks back inside ignoring me as I talk. I go back inside. I feel like I have to stay until everyone leaves to make sure nothing happens. At some point around 1 a.m. she gets me out of my seat. I was just chatting with her cousin Adam. And she walks me to the door where she says good night and ushers me down the steps. I ask her why I'm leaving. The only people left at the party is her roommates, both her roommates' boyfriends, her cousin and Josh. I can see Josh through the doorway through the kitchen in the living room as I'm looking past her, and she is explaining to me that she just wants to go and take a shot and then go to bed. I asked if I could stay with her and I thought that was the plan from our talks before the party. She says no, she just wants to sleep by herself. She immediately walks back inside and I sit in the steps contemplating what to do. I decide she's not in her right mind and I walk back inside. I care about her. I don't want anything to happen to her. I do not trust anyone around her when she is blacked out. We'll get to this in a moment, but definitely blacked out. So I go back inside and she is sitting on the couch with Josh, and Josh announces to the group they're going to McDonald's if anyone wants to come. I say hey, I'll go, but I'm driving my car, I'm sober, anyone can ride with me. Adam and Josh walk out and get in their car anyways. Okay, cool. I am in the kitchen alone with my girlfriend begging her. We are all going to McDonald's. I'm going. They're going. I'm sober. You are all shit-faced, please ride with me. She is giggling and pretty much ignores what I said and walks to talk to her roommate for a second. They're giggling and she walks out the door towards the guy's car. I'm calling after her. She doesn't stop. I am crying like PLS, be responsible and ride with me, etc. And she doesn't respond, just gets in and they're headed out. I walk back inside. I want to talk to her roommates, who don't really like me anyways, and ask them if they have seen this behavior. Me, one of the roommates and her boyfriend stay up from 1:30ish when they leave until 5 a.m. talking about this whole situation. Her roommate and roommate's boyfriend are telling me she is texting the guy, and she has been talking to him and that she actually has him over here when I'm not around. I'm losing it pretty much all night, reconfirming with them over and over that indeed the dude that I caught her texting has been texting and seeing her. I wait until 5:30 a.m. for her to come home. I'm sitting in her room when she got back. I couldn't even speak to her. They had taken more liquor to go eat at McDonald's and she was so tore up. I don't want to keep rambling, but basically I wanted to see her phone. I needed to know if what the roommate said was true. She was upset and didn't understand why I was being so aggressive about seeing her phone, so I told her that people are telling me she's cheating. She starts looking for her phone but can't find it. She can't remember if she walked in with it. She's walking around the house like a zombie looking for it. We can't find it. It's like 8 a.m. We call it a night. I stay over only because I want to find that phone ASAP before I leave. We wake up, we can't find it. We go to her cousin's, not in his car. We go to McDonald's, and that's where we find her phone crushed in the parking lot. Man, I don't know what to do. I feel like I could have moved past finding those texts. I was very upset about it, but I was under the impression they didn't talk anymore, and it made me happy to know that she valued my feelings enough to not speak with her friend, out of respect for me. Now IDK. She disrespected me by INV him to the party and just telling me to shut up and not make a scene. She disrespected me all night, dancing in front of him, watching his reaction, grabbing all over him, sitting with him, not sitting with me, kissing, hugging me, etc. She claims to have no memory of the night after 9 p.m. That's when they started doing some TikTok shot trends or something like that. She remembers doing those shots, and then racing someone on the interstate, and then me yelling at her about her phone. To me, her wanting me to leave and me clearly still seeing the dude in the living room was her subconscious like choosing him over me. What do you all think about this? I don't drink like that. I'm not sure what is going on during a blackout, but the old saying is drunk actions are sober thoughts. Yeah. I can't even clear up what her roommates are saying. She says they're lying. We will all sit down and talk about it. I suppose I want to either expose them as terrible liars or expose her as a terrible cheater. And even if I can confirm she hasn't been seeing him or texting him, how do you deal with the fact that she brought him to the party and told me to shut up about it and did everything she did in front of my face, asked me to leave, left with him? I'm really lost. I want to believe she cares. She seems remorseful for the party but adamantly denies the rumors from her roommate BF. How many more clues do you need? She is a cheater and with Josh. Ended. Break up with her. She sounds like a mess and was blatantly disrespecting you in front of everyone. You deserve much better. Please grow a backbone, man. She is openly humiliating you and clearly cheating on you. This isn't even worth fretting over. It's one of the most clear-cut cases of needing to dump someone I've ever read. End it now, and in a few months you'll look back and shake your head at how it took you so long. If you don't know what to do, nobody responding can convince you, dude. She might as well given Josh a BJ while you held her hair. If you want to stay with her and deal with it after this disrespecting shit treated, then just acknowledge you are a doormat. Oh, and never go down on her or F unprotected if you do keep this cheater. Man, all these comments were exactly what I was expecting. I told her to continue with this relationship would be to diminish my own self-worth. I appreciate you all sharing your opinions. I saw it the exact same way. I wanted another option but was too embarrassed to tell my friends honestly. You just wrote a lot of words describing how your girlfriend isn't your girlfriend anymore. My GF, F21, wants to break up with my M22 for taking her virginity. How do I approach this? I've been dating my girlfriend for about 11 months, and overall, our relationship has been positive. We communicate daily, enjoy spending time together, and rarely argue. I'm working while she's still in university, and I make an effort to visit her regularly to keep our connection strong. Lately, though, I've noticed she's been a bit distant, and when I asked, she initially assured me that everything was fine. However, after more conversations, she recently opened up and shared that she feels conflicted about our relationship due to us having had sex. We're both Christians, and although we discussed our views on sex before getting together, with her saying she was open to it when the time felt right, she's now feeling regretful because she was a virgin before we started dating. I always respected her boundaries, and when we did become intimate, she was the one who initiated it, so it felt mutual and comfortable at the time. Now, she's experiencing feelings of guilt and wishes she had been more firm in her decision to wait. She's asked for some space to process her feelings, which I'm respecting, but I feel confused and hurt by her sudden change in perspective. We haven't spoken in a few days, and I'm not sure how to approach her once we're ready to talk. I'm looking for advice on how to approach this sensitive conversation with empathy and how I can better understand where she's coming from without pushing her boundaries. Any advice on how to navigate this situation and support her would be really appreciated. Let her feel however she feels, but you did nothing wrong. You didn't take her virginity. You both had consensual sex. If she wants to break up with you, it's her right, and she doesn't need to give you a valid reason. If she's so conflicted about her sex life that she wants you to be the bad guy who stole her purity or similar nonsense, it's probably for the best that you part ways. It's gonna be a tough convo, but it sounds like you're a pretty emotionally intelligent and respectful dude. Just keep that up, and don't hold on too tight. If she wants to go, let her go. It's understandable for her to be feeling some very strong emotions right now. My mother was furious when I told her I lost my virginity. She told me I wasn't special anymore. She's not even super religious law. So there's really no telling what she's been told throughout her life about this subject and maybe feeling dirty, ashamed, etc. based on how she was raised. It really sucked to hear my mom say that. I was shocked and cried after the phone call. Sex after marriage is the biggest bullshit to ever exist. Sex is one of the most important things in relationships. You need to know if y'all are compatible and satisfied with each other before making such a permanent decision as marriage. I am religious, so I understand her conflicted feelings. You should know that it's not your fault and it has nothing to do with you, but everything to do with her and God. All you can do right now is give her some space. And like another commenter said, be prepared if she wants to leave the relationship. She's going to deal with this conflict in the way she feels best, i.e. some way to make up for the guilt of fornicating. To people who got cheated on, does it get better? 23M and 21F. 23M, got cheated on 4 months ago. I caught her after checking her phone. She was lying about a lot of things and tried to lie her way out of it even after I caught her. We broke up on the spot and I haven't really talked to her since. Since then, I have been in fight or flight. It still feels like it happened yesterday. I still don't sleep or eat. My meds only help so much. I'm extremely anxious during the day and depressed at night. I've never felt like this in my life. I've seen a therapist, but it almost made it worse. Does this ever go away? It does with time. It gets better when you boot her out of your life finally. It felt like I'm reading my own story. It does get better. You have to give yourself some time. Mine cheated with multiple men and had the audacity to manipulate me into feeling guilty about blaming her to cheat and me not being there for her. I don't know how your relationship was, but considering her response in your case, when you have hard proof tells clearly you should not go back to her. Delete everything related to her. It took me 2 years to completely leave it behind. I hope you get out of this as soon as possible. Short answer, no. It will always hurt. One day, it won't hurt as badly and you'll have a clouds are opening moment and you'll be free. Yes, it gets better. I got cheated on my first relationship when I was your age. I promise that in time, you'll think about her and laugh at the situation. Please don't be sad over a person who didn't respect you and it's so pathetic as to cheat on their partner. Nope. It gets easier over time, but it never really goes away. It does, but it also helps if you're thinking utilizing a counselor or therapy. Getting cheated on is a major emotional trauma. It fucks with your sense of trust, and if you were missing signs, think about talking to one so you can work on figuring out your new normal and not carry in baggage into future relationships.